Normally this stage here I've got a lot of nice puffy fat on me and I'm not as cold at the minute. I'm absolutely freezing constantly, low on calories compared to normally at this time of year. Big Tommy, heavyweight champion UFC, coming to see us today. We popped down to his gym a few months ago, didn't we? And went to see him. We've done a little session with him and that. Had to scram with him after because didn't have no fight coming up. We won't be going for no scram today. I'm sick on diet, lad, hard on diet, and I don't think he can train because of his eye, lad. I'm gonna have to see what his eye's like, lad. I'm fucking intrigued, especially after everyone giving him so much shit. Obviously he's got a bad injury in his eye. It just shows how fickle the MMA fan base is.
You good? You look a lot leaner the last time I seen you.
Oh yeah, last time I seen you, lad. Fucking now. Funniest when I come to your gym, lad. When I come to yours, I've been out the night before, lad, to watch Springsteen, lad, and got in at about 4:30 in the morning.
You know that mural after you spoke about it? There literally was a massive outcry in the town. Gotta get it down.
Take it down. Still going though. It's going strong, isn't it? It's been a bit of a long process because with eyes, like with other injuries, they just fix them straight away. With eyes, they try and let them, because it's obviously risky, try and let them heal naturally. So we're getting surgery on this eye, keeping me out for a little bit. Not sure how long just yet though. So got a meeting about it soon. So it's just been a slow process. It's been a nightmare, to be honest. Mate, 3 times they did it in 1 round.
I know.
I think the point of the thing should be sacked off. Just if you do twice in a round, then I get to do 1 back. I reckon that makes it. Mate, they're the best one. Why is it? That's fair though, isn't it? First one's an accident, second one you're doing it on purpose, aren't you?
I train with little gloves on anyway, as you've just seen. I don't stand like that.
I do think his wrestling's good though, Harmon.
His grappling is good, he's got good wrestling. But that's his main thing, is wrestling. And he wouldn't be able to hold me down and just lie on top of me.
It'd be interesting, wouldn't it, the grappling matchup?
It would.
It'd be good.
He's going on about the people I've fought, lad. He beat Dariush about 48. A lot of people don't think he beat Charles. I was me included when we watched it live. I thought Charles won. And then he fought fucking Dan Hooker, lad, who's, let's be honest, shite. The last person I beat knocked Dan Hooker out in a round.
Well, me and Paddy have known each other for a long time, so on a personal level, Paddy's a great guy, and it's great to see like good people doing good stuff. But from like a UK MMA point of view, like for such a small place, can have 4 champions. It's absolutely unbelievable. Well, it's a dangerous fight for Paddy, but I think it's winnable. It's definitely winnable, and I think Paddy's gonna get fit.
The ending is already locked in, and it ends with somebody's image permanently damaged, because by the time this fight is over, the lightweight division will not recognize itself anymore. So now slam it into reverse, because the way Paddy Pimblett freezing on diet, talking injuries, smiling through pressure, and Justin Gaethje sharpening knives in silence somehow turned into destiny is insane. And nah, this can't be real unless someone is lying about how ready they actually are right now.
Tough matchup, you know? I think 5 rounds. This is the common take. Everybody gonna say that, not only me. But if Justin Gaethje doesn't stop him on the beginning, he's going to lose. I think everybody thinks like that, and I think Paddy Pimblett will beat Justin Gaethje. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think he's gonna submit him, bro.
But I don't think the odds are right.
What are the odds?
Paddy Pimblett minus 200 or minus 250.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't
think it should be closer.
That should be even, right?
I don't think so. I think
No?
I think Justin Gaethje is the perfect matchup for Paddy, bro. You know, he's a tough guy. He can brawl, but Paddy hasn't been chinned before, right?
Kevin Aspinall quietly stepping into Paddy's camp is not some friendly cameo. It's a signal flare, because champions don't waste time unless they sense a moment about to explode. And when Aspinall watches Paddy train, you can feel the weight shift, expectations compress, pressure thicken, because now this isn't just Paddy's fight. It's a UK MMA checkpoint. And if he fails here, the fallout hits way more than one career.
They jump on and off bandwagons, fans, lad. Like, everyone loved me after I beat Jordan Levitt, and then when I've had that close fight with Jared Gordon, everyone hated me. And then now people are back on the bandwagon, so it's one of them. You just got to get on with it. Tom will come back and fucking knock Dan out, and then everyone will be sucking his arse again. That's just the way the world is, especially MMA fans. Very, very fickle. But sports fans in general, so it's one of them. You loved 1 minute, you hated the next, and then you loved again.
Mate, you know what I think a lot of the time? My success, my record that I've got and finishing fights really quick, like if I don't finish the fight in the first minute, people think I'm looking shit. Yeah, people are like, oh shit, he's not looking good today. It's like, well, no, we're just evenly matched and we're having a fight. I've not punched him properly yet. It's been pretty smooth sailing as far as fans with me and stuff, but the tide has turned. But I've got a lot of good stuff as well. It's not all bad. But you know what, mate? It's just thicken my skin up a little bit.
Listen to the way Paddy talks about calories, freezing, discipline, and you hear a man stripping comfort out of his life on purpose, because fighters don't talk like that when things are easy. They talk like that when they know what's coming. And the scary part is how casual he sounds about it. Like he's already accepted suffering as the entry fee. And ask yourself why someone so relaxed sounds so prepared for pain.
Especially after everyone giving him so much shit. Obviously he's got a bad injury in his eye. It just shows how fickle the MMA fan base is.
Beautiful gym. I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff, but yeah, proper stuff. Smells like a gym. It's a bit arty, isn't it? I like it, mate. Nice.
Good lad, good lad. Got black socks on.
How are we doing?
What have you done anyway?
Oh, it's on.
Hey, Paddy.
Oh, it's on. Good.
You good? You look a lot leaner the last time I seen you.
Oh yeah, last time I seen you, lad. Fucking now. Funniest when I come to your gym, lad. When I come to yours, I've been out the night before, lad, to watch Springsteen, lad, and got in at about 4:30 in the morning.
You know that mural after you spoke about it? There literally was a massive outcry in the town. Gotta get it down.
Take it down. Still going though. It's going strong, isn't it? It's been a bit of a long process because with eyes, like with other injuries, they just fix them straight away. With eyes, they try and let them, because it's obviously risky, try and let them heal naturally. So we're getting surgery on this eye, keeping me out for a little bit. Not sure how long just yet though. So got a meeting about it soon. So it's just been a slow process, been a nightmare to be honest.
Then you hear the eye injury talk, and people brush it off like background noise, but injuries change timelines, and timelines change matchmaking. And when fans turn vicious over something you can't rush medically, that resentment doesn't disappear. It hardens, and fighters remember it. And I'm telling you right now, someone involved here is carrying a chip so heavy it's going to show up violently when the cage door shuts.
Stand up and out in the round.
Well, me and Paddy have known each other for a long time, so on a personal level, Paddy's a great guy, and it's great to see like good people doing good stuff. But from like a UK MMA point of view, like for such a small place, can have 4 champions. It's absolutely unbelievable. Well, it's a dangerous fight for Paddy, but I think it's winnable. It's definitely winnable, and I think Paddy's gonna get a finish.
The fan pressure conversation isn't small talk either. It's a warning, because when you finish too fast, people expect magic every time. And when fights get close, they panic. And when panic sets in, narratives flip overnight. And Paddy knows this, Tom knows this, and Justin definitely knows this, because Justin lives in that chaos and feeds on it. And he's smiling, knowing the crowd already wrote a script he plans to rip up.
There's a suggestion in a piece I just read that the winner of Max and Charles becomes the #1 contender and takes on the winner of Paddy and Justin. Now, I believe the author of this statement was Paddy himself, that Paddy was making a suggestion. You may say, well, then, Chael, we should take it with a grain of salt. Paddy's performing, but if Paddy becomes champion, if the champion ever calls somebody out, that fight usually happens. It's very rare that champions call somebody out. Ozdemir fought for a world title because Daniel Cormier called him out. I mean, just for example, it's not common that the champion goes and looks for a fight. The champion gets called out by 2 or 3 or 4 different guys, and you start looking around at who's the #1 kid. Right? Did you understand?
Now here's the part that feels off: the calm confidence from Paddy's side mixed with outsiders predicting finishes like they're inevitable. Because when everyone agrees too loudly, it usually means something unseen is brewing. And I can't shake this feeling that one of these camps knows something the other doesn't, or worse, thinks they know. And that's how disasters start in MMA.
I think in many ways, much like the Olympic Games, it has the ability to be valued as a more coveted belt because of the scarcity. Now, that's a conversation that isn't my point right now. I'm just bringing to you, that's how I feel. When they do a BMF match, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. The first time they ever did it, the president came and The Rock came. And they held it at the Mecca Madison Square Garden. This is the first time they ever did it. The last time they did it was Dustin Poirier's retirement fight completely sold out, and the governor of the state showed up to watch. I'm just saying, it's a big deal. When they do the BMF belt, it's a big deal. So I don't want it used as a number one contenders belt. I don't want it used as something you get something else.
Justin Gaethje saying he wants to ruin the story is not villain talk. It's a confession of intent because Justin doesn't chase fairy tales. He burns them. And when he talks about stopping what fans want the way Tony versus Khabib never happened, that's history bleeding into the present. And if you think that comparison isn't haunting him, you're not listening close enough.
In a suspected world, the winner of Paddy Gaethje will fight Ilya. That is what we expect is going to happen. But we never thought that Ilya was going to be out in the first place. We never thought that we were going to be to this spot in the first place. So Paddy's not wrong to be looking for an opponent not named Ilya with his expected victory. And I mean expected by himself. He expects to be in a position that he's going to need to contest. All right.
Then Chael steps in and the tone shifts. Because now this isn't just about winning, it's about what the win is used for. And when someone starts arguing about belts losing meaning, that's code for political tension backstage. And when politics enter a fight week, outcomes ripple harder than knockouts. And yeah, someone is already positioning pieces for after this ends.
Good test for Paddy Pimblett. Listen, Paddy Pimblett gets past Justin Gaethje. You're not going to hear me complain once about him fighting for a title here soon. I still think Arman should be first, but I don't have any problem if Paddy Pimblett goes out there and beats Justin Gaethje of him fighting for the title next. That's totally fine with me. Don't have an issue with that whatsoever. And I think for Gaethje, again, I don't want to see Gaethje just retire waiting up for a title shot that never comes. I think this is good for Gaethje. Again, I do feel like the UFC, put him in a tough spot with him taking the Holloway fight and him losing that fight. I think we should reward.
The BMF belt talk is not nostalgia, it's leverage, because scarcity equals power. And once you turn a symbolic belt into a stepping stone, it becomes disposable. And Chael hates that, and fighters sense that, and suddenly this bout isn't just about hands and chins, it's about who gets control of narrative currency going forward.
I mean, Gaethje's still getting good wins, like he beat Fiziev, like he's, again, we're not that far removed from him beating Dustin Poirier, which, everyone raved about Poirier's performance against Islam. Gaethje was the last guy to finish him, right? So that's super impressive. So yeah, I just think the UFC, listen, I criticize the UFC a lot about some of their decisions. I think this is a good move with the circumstances involved.
When predictions start stacking for Paddy, finishes early, second round, submission or knockout, that's when alarms go off. Because Justin has lived his entire career proving experts wrong in blood. And yes, he's been knocked out. Yes, the mileage is real, but every loss came from monsters. And monsters don't disappear overnight. They wait for one opening. Paul Felder's breakdown matters because styles kill hype. And Justin is not Chandler, not reckless, not sloppy. And if Paddy expects the same chaos to present itself, he might be gambling with timing. And timing is unforgiving. And here's another thing nobody wants to say. Justin hits different when he smells overconfidence. Renato Moicano calling this closer than the odds is the quietest warning of all, because when fighters who've been in the fire say submissions are being overlooked, it means tape has been studied deeply, and Paddy's ground threat is real, late, sneaky, and ugly, and if this fight drags, the energy shifts in ways bettors don't price correctly. But don't relax yet, because age, durability, momentum, and hunger are all colliding here. And collisions don't care about legacy, they just break things. And Justin knows this could be the moment people decide he's done. And that kind of threat either folds you or turns you feral. And Gaethje has never folded. What nobody is addressing enough is how calm everyone sounds about chaos, like they're pretending this is normal buildup, when it's not, because too many futures depend on this one result. And divisions don't like that pressure, they rupture under it, and something about the timing, the talk, the confidence feels misaligned. So sit with that discomfort, because this story is not finished, not even close. And when the bell rings, it won't answer questions, it'll create new ones about durability, about hype, about who the UFC really needs next. And if you think this ends clean, you're lying to yourself, because something is still hidden, and when it comes out, it won't be gentle. And the more I replay everything in my head, the more it feels like the UFC itself is holding its breath. Because when Dana White lets narratives grow this loud without shutting them down, it usually means he's waiting to see which storyline survives the fire. And right now, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje feels less like matchmaking and more like a test to see who the company can actually build around when the dust settles. I keep thinking about how quickly fans turn on people they just crowned, because MMA love is conditional and temporary, and Paddy knows this deep down, which is why every interview feels slightly defensive even when he's smiling, like he's already arguing with ghosts of future critics who haven't even typed yet. Justin, on the other hand, moves like a man who already accepted being written off, and that's dangerous, because fighters with nothing to protect stop fighting pretty and start fighting honest, and honest violence is usually where careers get shortened or reborn. What really sticks with me is how nobody is questioning whether this fight should even be happening right now, because Gaethje is supposed to be gatekeeper royalty and Paddy is supposed to be protected growth stock, and when those lanes cross this early, it usually means someone backstage is impatient or confident to a reckless degree. And then there's Tom Aspinall hovering in the background like a silent validator, because Tom doesn't co-sign nonsense. And if he's lending his presence to Paddy's preparation, that tells me the belief inside that camp is real, not just marketing optimism. But belief doesn't block leg kicks or survive extended firefights, and Justin's entire existence is built around forcing opponents to answer questions they didn't study for. And once fatigue creeps in, belief turns into panic faster than fans want to admit. I also can't ignore how often people are talking about finishes instead of survival, because fights between generations don't usually end clean. They end messy, controversial, and emotionally expensive. And that kind of ending lingers longer than any highlight. The BMF belt discussion keeps circling back in my mind too, because when symbolism becomes leverage, it creates resentment, and resentment leaks into performances, and I wouldn't be shocked if one of these men walks in already angry about respect before a punch is even thrown. Another thing that feels off is how little people are discussing Gaethje's adaptability, because everyone remembers wars, but forgets the discipline he's shown recently. And disciplined Justin is scarier than reckless Justin, especially against someone who thrives on chaos. Paddy's confidence on the ground is justified, but confidence can turn into impatience, and impatience against someone who punishes entries is how momentum flips in seconds. And once momentum flips in MMA, it rarely flips back. I keep circling back to timing, because timing is cruel in this sport. And if Paddy wins, it feels like destiny accelerating, but if he loses, it feels like a warning shot that growth was rushed, and neither outcome is small. For Justin, this might be the last time he gets to redefine how people see him, because one more loss and the narrative hardens permanently, and fighters feel that weight even if they pretend not to. The crowd reaction alone could change this fight, because energy feeds aggression and aggression feeds mistakes, and both of these men are emotional competitors, whether they admit it or not. There's also the quiet possibility that this fight isn't about either of them, but about the division resetting itself violently, because lightweight has been stagnant emotionally and chaos is how the UFC reclaims attention. When I hear analysts speak with certainty, it makes me more suspicious, because MMA punishes certainty more than any sport, and this matchup is drenched in unknowns people are pretending don't exist. I honestly think the loser of this fight will be affected longer than the winner, because rebuilding belief is harder than gaining it, and belief is everything once the body starts to slow. There's a tension here that feels unresolved, like something hasn't been said publicly yet, and MMA history tells us those unspoken elements usually matter the most once the cage door locks. Even the silence between updates feels loud, because too many people are watching too closely, and when attention concentrates like this, it usually precedes something ugly or unforgettable. If this was just another fight, the conversation wouldn't feel this loaded, but it does, and loaded conversations usually mean careers pivot on a single moment that nobody can predict. So yeah, I don't trust the calm, I don't trust the predictions, and I definitely don't trust how ready everyone seems to move on already, because this feels like the kind of fight that refuses to end when the final horn sounds. And until that moment actually happens, everything around this matchup feels unstable, unfinished, and one bad exchange away from detonating the lightweight division in ways people will pretend they saw coming.